tablet het ons maar gegroet. Aan die ander kant was dit. Hy nou nie meer werk. Mag ek seker weer goed sommer gou doen.
Ek sukkel maar net vandag om hierdie ouetjie so hier in te kry. Ek weet nie hoe kom hy gly so uit. Welcome, and what a welcome that is. I believe that was Devin getting off the mark with the 6. Yeah. Have you had a 6 for the day to start your morning or your evening?
No, not yet. I had a game before this one where it's a rare thing where you usually see the last man stands who accumulated most of the runs. And that was a game between the Saints and the Flaming Fireballs, and he ended the game with a 6.
Well, I had the same experience, but never one where somebody just gets off the mark with a 6. Well, I was talking to Dev earlier on. Oh, lovely shot. Quick little single there. And he said that he enjoys the straight drive. Funny enough, that was not a straight drive. That was a beautiful flick. And might I say, I would like to watch that on repeat the whole day. So you guys will see we're just struggling a little bit here to get the camera to stay steady. So we're having one of those days today. But guess what? We will never give up to give you the best quality. Looked like a bit of a highish full toss there, but the umpire seems to be okay with it. And so do the players. Hard running there. Easy stuff.
Okay, coming back to the people who are playing right now. On the side of the CPI Masters, that will be Arthur Creer, Kali Potgieter, Daryl Knudsen, Devon Du Plessis, Gideon Pieter van Zyl, Jaco Venter, Jock Jacobs, and Marco van Jaarsveld. This is a quite experienced team, this, with 759 matches under their belt, accumulated of course, and average high score of 53 runs, 50s between these guys. They had 69 50s between all of them. And then if we look at the CPI Crusaders, there we will have the Albertus Geldenhuis, David Cremore, I'm not exactly sure if that is pronounced correctly, Jaco Jansen van Reesburg, Jandre Nieuwek, Jason Scannell, I think I'm abusing these people's surnames now, Johannes Becker, Pieter Beekman, and Quentin Koersen. So we're actually excited to see what these people are up to today. Looking forward to it's the last match for the day on this field as well as on the other fields, but yeah, we can see how much energy is still left in these guys, especially people like Devon Du Plessis, who we know it's his second game already. We've seen him in the first match which we live streamed this morning, which was a little bit of a bugger up there, but it was the Pumas against the CPI Old Boys, where Devon played for the Pumas.
Oh, it's like you're saying there, Jurg. I'm signed to the Pumas, play with Dev. As you can hear, calling him Dev and not Devon. And like I said earlier on, he says he enjoys the straight drive a lot. That's what he says. Devon Du Plessis. He's also got a brother, Johnny Du Plessis, if I'm not mistaken. And together they are quite the cricket brothers. But nonetheless, he's here by Masters. and he was saying he will see what he can do with the lack of pace.
Whoa,
but
nip that one for a boundary.
that's if it makes it, Jurgen. This outfield is, and it trickles, and it just makes it.
And I think Arthur is helping out there a little.
So let me give you my recap. Had Smoking Bulldogs versus Toxic.
Yes.
Toxic had no right to win the game. We had the last man standing coming in. They needed more than 50 from the last 25 balls. Sure. And can I tell you something?
Yes.
The last man got it.
Well done.
The Peter Ter Blanche, 66
what
of 31 deliveries. It all got started. Foundation was laid by Johan, then Mario Standard, and then helped along there by Devin. He is too good, too classy. Just to break away from my previous story, this man was overseas last season or the season before. So whatever this is that they're bowling to him, he will be asking himself, when are they getting serious?
Well, he's got the answers for everything right now.
I mean, it makes it look so easy. Well, anyway, so then Peter Ter Blanche came in towards the end there, and it just clicked for him, eh? Sure. He was hitting sixes and boundaries. And then to make matters worse,
yes,
Toxic needed 5 runs from 1 ball. And you bet it, dear. They hit a 6.
Yo.
They
and
got
the funny
12.
thing is, remember last week when we commentated on this field, very field last week, the people were struggling to get boundaries.
That is true. That is so very true.
And I wonder if the pitch have changed anything since. Because remember last week they said there was a lot of cracks in it, which made the pitch a bit slower.
Well, the feedback that I got today was as follows. It's a sticky pitch. If you bowl a good length, it will work for you. Short of a length will work. Anything too full, you must have the field placed correctly, and also batsmen must just take their time.
Sure. There's a lot of energy in this side, eh?
Lots of energy, lots of spectators. We had a fully packed viewers here. I mean, even where we're sitting right now, I had to change where I was commentating from, probably about for every game. That's how full it was here today.
Yo.
People buying, kids playing. Just one of those days today.
I'm actually waiting on a burger patty which I gave to Yoppie. He's got the braai over there at the first field.
Lovely.
And I made a stuffed burger patty.
Oh.
And I told him, okay, listen, and give the thing over to you whenever you feel like cooking it. Just tell me, and then I'll come and fetch it.
Lovely shot there by Dave, but for no runs. A bit uppish. See, that's what I'm talking about there, Jörg. Did you see that shot there? Mm-hmm. The ball just sticking into the wicket. Just a bit of a struggle here for the guys. So you've got a nice little patty coming. Well, I had my lunch brought over, my sister-in-law and my wife.
Nice.
They prepared something. Oh, a wayward delivery. That's a wide call there by Moapi. Just letting him know that we spotted it. It was an egg muffin with cheese.
Wow.
With some sausages. And let me tell you, when you're working, you don't want to have a heavy stomach. That was the ideal meal.
Sure.
Sorry for making people hungry back home, but I just had to rave on about it.
Well, if it's good, it's good.
It was beyond good. And it was not the hunger talking. Oh! Picked up by Devin all the way to fine leg. And that's the third pickup of the day.
They're going to look for that ball for a while.
If we were somewhere else, I'd be saying we'll take a break and we'll be back after the ball's been located.
But what I've seen on the other field is as soon as the ball hits the parking lot, that thing becomes like a golf ball. It just keeps bouncing on down the road.
It just keeps moving. It does not want to stop.
And a slight breeze picking up now. I think these guys will appreciate it now. We've been standing in the sun the whole day. Tell me, when you play cricket, your wife also come and support you. Is that the usual thing, or is it?
Yeah, it's a bit of the usual thing. You know, the wife comes out to support, children come out to play. Yesterday I was playing a bit of club cricket.
Nice.
I got pulled out of retirement for one gamer, and my first ball was a wicket ball. Unfortunately, it was dropped by one of the fielders, but 2 balls later I got the wicket in any case. So I think those bowling figures are 3 deliveries, 0 runs, and 1 wicket. So something to brag about.
But we barely hear anything about the club cricket lately. I don't know if it's not the communication over there or what's the problem, but we struggle to hear what those guys are. And I feel those people are being neglected, their accomplishments.
You know, and that is one thing I appreciate about Last Man Standing. Don't worry, folks, we will not be deviating our focus now to club cricket. It is just, you know, we're talking cricket, me and Yer.
Yeah.
Sure, you guys would enjoy a bit of just cricket chatter. You know, that's one thing I appreciate about Last Man Stands is that, you know, it's so competitive. There are stats, there's figures. I mean, now we've got live streaming, we've got commentating. There's just so much quality that goes into this. Oh, and even the type of players. You've got Devin Butler, if I'm not mistaken, played at Varsity Cup, went to England, plays for CUT1, plays in the Premier League in Bloemfontein. So it just shows you what type of players are attracted to Last Man Stand.
But we also have a guy that's playing for Lesotho, isn't it?
I would not be surprised. That's a wide there from
Marco
Quinton.
Yeah, I'll confirm with Arthur.
Our apologies for that. Like we were saying earlier on, we've been struggling immensely here with the angle.
I'll get another one of these for next time.
I seem to have just about got it right there. Yeah? Let's just work here a bit on the small logistics here.
But on the other hand, although we are just sticking to LMS, we must remember in game of cricket. Wow, that's a beauty!
Marco van Jaarsveld, welcome to the boundary world.
Wow!
What a shot! That was.
But we can't separate these guys' cricket careers. Some of them play club cricket. Some of them play action cricket during the day, and then on Sundays they come and play LMS cricket. So they live for cricket. They play it constantly, and that's the way they keep fit. That's how they keep sharp, and that's what makes us appreciate this game so much.
That is very true, Jörg. Everything you said there was spot on. We're just trying to get the zoom going in there for the viewers at home. Sure, they want to see everything that we see as clearly as we do. Believe that should be ideal for everyone. Yeah, no, listen, so much cricket that's happening in Bloemfontein, and it's just wonderful to see, and it's also well appreciated. You know, you've got the Super League, you've got promotional league, you've got the 35 over league, and then you've got your LMS, you know, and even here you've got your different divisions. You know, your Pumas in the first division, your Masters in the second division, and then you've got your third division. Even in action cricket, I think there's Wednesday and Thursday where the guys are playing. And you know, so I mean, and you are all glued up in the sports world, so definitely.
Yeah, I've got my list here for field placements, so I get a better idea when
was that picked up again.
It looks like he's making a habit of getting sixes now.
Yeah, just looking here at your map, I'll tell you right now where that one went. If you know cricket, that one went to the deep fine leg. So that was very fine, to be quite honest. That the way that batsman hits it, you know, long leg, fine leg region. So basically, if you're thinking spinner, 45.
So he's basically using the speed of the ball to get those kind of boundaries.
Definitely, he is just helping it along. He's just saying, if you're going that way, I'll just help you along the road. So today, just looking at your map here, I wish we had that digital thing where you could just show this for the people at home who are maybe wondering, want to get into a bit of cricket. I saw a lot of shots being played. They didn't have a point. They had a deep backward point. So a lot of shots were going through silly point and point. Extra cover was also a place that a lot of the shots were going through. Deep mid wicket and cow corner was also well used today. Let's just see.
Funny thing, that is what I picked up on the other two fields as well, where cow corner was quite busy today.
Again, just quick running here from everybody. I mean, look at CPI Masters. They are on 50 after 4 overs. They are rocketing. Look at that projected score, 253. If you ask me if they can get it, I will say to you, I don't see why not.
This team, obviously, they have a good chance reaching that and playing, yeah. And the opposing team will be able to get that as well. The CPI Crusaders. It's a big game unfolding here right now. Another ball coming to the batsman, and he's just knocking it forward. It's not a run coming from that delivery. Ball is back at the bowler, and let's see what they are trying to do now. And he's
just slaps that through cover.
Looks like it's going to be a boundary. No, it's not. Just short of the boundary. It is where the grass feels a little bit sticky on that side. The ball slows down considerably going that way.
And there's Devon's favorite shot. He said the straight drive is what he likes, and he said he wouldn't be playing it because there's no pace. But seem to have just played it right now.
But there's nobody on the boundary over there, so why not?
Exactly. You'll see, Jörg, that here you get rewards for your shots. I know the oval probably is also quite a quick outfield where you started the day with Pumas. But you'll see here, if you play the shot very well, if you time it, you'll get the boundary. So it's all about timing. Let's see what Jaco Janse van Rensburg is going to do here. He needs to put the brakes on for Masters. He needs to do something because Devon and them are batting.
It's in the air.
And that is six signaled. And that was over deep mid wicket.
Not even going to try and catch that thing. It went over his head.
Miles and miles over.
Another shot which was nice this morning. There was a 6 going on top of that clubhouse.
Oh.
Wow. I'm not exactly sure who was it that clapped that ball over there, but wow.
I tell you, when the batsmen are in like this, you feel sorry. The fielders are looking slightly dejected. You must remember, Jörg, 5 overs have not passed. These guys are at 64 runs.
It's a pretty
clever cricket. Clever cricket. You don't always have to go for the big shots every ball. Sensible cricket will also get you there. And that is 65 for 5. Devon on 39 after 16 and Marco on 24 of, 12 deliveries, going at 200 strike rate.
It's 2 young guys with a lot of energy.
Quinton coming back in. He went for 13 in his first over.
I think if the Masters want to stop this onslaught,
you probably mean the Crusaders. The Crusaders are the ones bowling. So if they want to stop the Masters, the Crusaders needs to do something.
They've got to break up that partnership.
Good delivery there to Devon. Like I said, very intelligent cricketer. He will respect a good ball. He will play a good shot for a good delivery. We even leave one if it's worthy of being left alone. Getting in good cricket here. It's always nice to get in good cricket.
Whoa, and the big one, that's going to be a 6.
Is it? Is it?
It's good! Oh,
Just goes short.
and the Crusaders have broken up that partnership.
65 partnership comes collapsing short. Devin playing one of his favorite shots, just not getting all of it. And that is 39 runs for Devin. He'll be a little bit upset. Probably would have liked to have gone to 50 there. Could have gotten to 50 easily. But nonetheless, Devin, you played well, sir. And I'm sure Masters will appreciate the foundation you laid for them.
Well, he's done what's expected from him. He opened the game with okay, obviously it's not a comfortable lead yet, but he's on his way, laying, like you said, laying a foundation for a big innings.
When you start off your innings with a 6, that is exactly the confidence booster that they wanted, you know. So the CPI Crusaders got together, huddled there, probably said to themselves that this is cricket. It's not all done and lost just yet. Let's just dig in there. And Quinton is just going to keep bowling in that line and into that length. Jaco Venter is now on strike, facing his first delivery. It's a full one, and he also just place it down there.
Well, he's off the mark.
Exactly what you need. Good throw there. Long off being put into the game quite extensively.
But what I reckon from these guys, because they're all playing so well, you can't afford to make any mistakes.
No, that is true, Joch. That is very true. Can't be making any sort of mistakes. Every ball is crucial, and a game can change so quickly in just a couple of deliveries.
Well, this is the second division, but they're not playing much worse than the first division.
No, you'll see players being used here and there. Some players are registered over there, some players are registered elsewhere. Some people are helping out.
We've got a few girls here getting excited about the cricket being played here in front of us. So nice to see the youngsters coming up and enjoying the sport as well.
That is true. Quinton just bowling a wide one, and then the team also just taking a bye.
Oh.
Good straight shot that was.
Defended that ball nicely. That could have easily gone for another 2 runs, but he stopped it in his tracks and no runs came from that delivery.
So yeah, how was it commentating on your own today?
It was different. I actually felt a little bit more relaxed. I probably spoke a lot of BS along the way, but like I explained to the people listening, that my perspective is different from yours, and I think that is what makes every commentator, what's the background, what's the root of their expertise. Like, you're an expert cricketer, you know exactly the field placings, you even know these people personally, and where I don't know cricket that well, but I love psychology and I love sport. And at the end of the day, many of the stats the people at home can see for themselves on the screen. They can look at the app and see what's going on, but what they can't see is what we are seeing here when we are sitting here next to the field. So that is where my expertise comes in, because I'm looking around, telling them what I see, which they wish they could have seen if they were here.
Speaking of wishing what they could have seen, we have Marco Jansen van Rensburg, who went down for a slog sweep. But unfortunately, that one didn't have the legs, and deep mid wicket caught it. Safe as houses is what they say. What's a cricket term? Safe as houses. Clean catch, no fumble. That man looked very sure underneath that ball. Well, 70 for 2 here. 6.2 overs gone.
Things look a little bit different now, eh?
Slightly different. But tell you what, they've still got so much in the tank left. And even if they do collapse, 150 is defendable here.
Easy. Well, these guys have got so much experience. They'll be used to any environment where they are far behind or any type of target they need to chase or defend certain targets. They've seen it all. Like I said, especially the Masters, between all of them, they've played 759 matches. And all that experience accumulates over time.
That is very true. Inside edge. Speaking of experience, yesterday I was playing club cricket, deviating again here from LMS, but I'm sure viewers at home are enjoying our little chats. So we're playing against Rocklands, Old Adrian's 2 versus Rocklands, and or rather Old Adrian's 3, because we were this third side. I'm never quite sure. Up in the air, where's that going?
It's going to...
Oh, just behind cover.
That would have been a beautiful catch if he was successful.
That is very true. And they're also running there for a quick little single. So, speaking of, guys will see that the lighting is a bit bad. That's not us, that's mostly the weather. It's a bit dark and a bit overcast. Another missed opportunity that you guys saw on camera. So as I was saying there, we were playing there yesterday. Rocklands got us out for 127 odd. And while we were able to defend that, there was a bit of a pressure cooker here and there. But I mean, I had been captain the previous season before I took my retirement, you know, and we found ourselves in that situation numerous times where we put on 130, 127 and were able to defend it and bowl the team out for 80 or 70, you know. I was just that type of a captain, just demanding and demanding, exhausting my bowlers. I remember one of my bowlers, he plays for Pumas, Peter Lautergang. We were playing at Bobby's and I think he got like something like 4 or 3 wickets. He was wet, he was tired, but we bowled him out for 80, and all thanks to his consistency. And just being a captain, it was like, Peter, I need this. And you know, he just kept doing what his captain asked. And that was exactly what happened also yesterday, is the captain said, this is what I need from you guys, and the boys, they just stayed in it. You know, we're cutting it short because we won by 20 runs. So a little bit too close for comfort, but I mean, the composure was there. And like I said, I got my one little over in. Captain was like, listen, how about I give you an over under pressure? And I was like, well, sir, I don't see why not. Excellent cover drive there from Jaco Venter. Well, that will not get the legs, unfortunately. That will just be to the boundary 10, 15 meters further away. But yeah, that was yesterday. That was my Saturday. Just a bit under pressure.
You see that some of the guys are getting thirsty now. They've got their kids running on the field to bring something to drink.
Well, it's a hot day.
It's very important to keep hydrated.
Another straight drive to long off. Simple one.
Especially if you're only in the first innings now. If you dehydrate now, you're going to feel dizzy in the second half or the second innings, and that's one thing you don't want, because then you make mistakes, you make silly decisions.
Wide delivery, and they'll just take the bye as well while they're at it. So you're talking about psychology, and I must say, I've been very impressed today by the psychology of these cricket players. You know, none of them are giving up. In the previous game, we had Mega Meisters against Warriors, and there we had Ali refusing to give up. You know, he hit a 50 of, I think, 30 odd, could be wrong. But I mean, there was nothing. He didn't have to. They were too far behind, but he was like, so what?
Yeah,
So
he
what?
scored.
Why not? Why not? Let me try. Maybe I could turn the game on its head. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for Mega Meisters, but Warriors were a little bit worried. Just a little bit.
Yeah, but especially now where the games are being live streamed, somebody might have been watching.
Possible.
You always forget about that. There's a scout that's been watching these games. He's not sitting in South Africa. He's sitting in another country, and he's looking for players.
And he maybe liked what he saw.
He can see what. There's a lot of talent around running on these fields, and like I said, it's like Devin and Marco already got their opportunities, and that's not the last of their opportunities because these guys are still young, so there's still a lot that can be happening for them.
Definitely. And also what I've been impressed with, and you would have heard me the whole day, is Mohapi's timekeeping. So we've been streaming now for 31 minutes with 8 overs in. Oh, just too short, but he picked out fine leg, nice and easy. Just shows you how fine and short that was. Very fine. And Mohapi's been very honest and he's been very quick throughout the day. Every 10 overs for about 30 to 35 minutes. Oh, stepping back there through the covers. Cover will have to get up and chase as it won't make it. Question is, will they come back for a third? Yes, they will.
And still that ball didn't reach the boundary, eh?
No, that wasn't timed well at all. I mean, it looked like very impressive here by us, but no. In the very first game in the morning, you would have Adam Boshoff and Ronnie Stephens just belting it to the boundary with such confidence. Oh!
Beautiful shot.
Oh!
That's down the road. That's definitely a 4.
Hit that between cow corner and long on. Right in between them. Split them in two, as you guys could see there back home. Of course, there's no cow corner. It's just long on standing there. So long on could only run and go fetch the ball.
It's impressive how far these young guys can throw these balls, eh?
Gideon, pat yourself on the back there, man. Oh, just leaning back there.
Maybe a bit enthusiastic, trying to hit every ball.
If we had to criticize him there, I would say just had to lean into the delivery, not lean away from it.
Yeah, obviously you will know better.
Picks that one up. Opportunities.
Ball. His bowler won't appreciate that move.
Yako could have caught and bowled that himself. Not so easy. I mean, you've seen on rugby when they kick it and you're running back trying to catch it. It's not easy to run back and catch one over your shoulder.
But like you said earlier, the light isn't. It's a bit difficult now because you've got the sun behind the clouds, so it's constantly changing from like a dimly lit field to being brightly lit, and yeah, I think that's going to play in your eyes as well, especially if that ball is high and you need to catch it.
That is also true. But it's no longer as hot as it was during the afternoon game, the second game of the day. Now that one was scorching hot, and there was also no breeze. And now for the final game, like you just said now, Jurg, there's a bit of cloud coverage. Like I said to the people at home, no chance of rain spoiling the day, but also it's not blue skies. New bowler, Albertus, coming in there with the off spinner.
Stopping it himself. But we had a little bit of rain early this morning.
I heard so, didn't hear it.
It was hot, it was quick, it was fast. And over and done with in maybe about 20 minutes.
Well, I'm glad it didn't ruin
Whoa!
Going over extra cover, up and over, not inside out.
Right, was stopped before the boundary.
Nice throw in there.
Nice almond guy.
Very well bowled there by Albertus, asking them to go up. Jaco Venter on strike. Smashes it, but cover standing nice and deep, so that's an easy one instead of two.
Sure, but he punished that ball, eh?
Sacrifices have to be made. Gideon back on strike. Oh, that could be two. No, they'll settle for one.
It makes you actually appreciate the people who make these balls. I know in the past it was only cork, but now there's other compounds into the woven into the ball. And looking at how these guys punishes this ball delivery after delivery after delivery, and that ball doesn't split in two in the first 10 overs is amazing.
The fact that it doesn't even break the bat is also amazing.
That too. I think there's so much technology going into these bats, and that's probably why they aren't so cheap anymore.
That is true. Speaking of not so cheap, CPI Masters 95 for 2. 10 overs gone, a run rate of 9.5. Projected score has gone down considerably. It is now 190 that they could possibly get. Albertus Geldenhuys bowling a good over there, just 5 off the over. Masters still in control. Like I said to Yerg, anything over 150, very defendable. Changing sides. Mohapi taking, like I said, roughly 35 minutes. So he is in a hurry to get this innings of CPI done within the hour, or at least an hour and 5 minutes. He's been very consistent the whole day. So
I think there's a lot of good luck going his way, because what we saw on the field that where I commentated just before this one, they were on time as well. But we have major problems with the app this morning on the oval, where the umpire struggled to log the scores or do the live, what do you call it, live
scoring. Yeah.
He struggled with that. I struggled to get the phone on the live stream.
I can understand. Speaking of struggles, Peter Beekman making Gideon struggle there for just one delivery, and the guys know each other as he just taps him with the bat on the bum to say, hey man, good delivery.
It's amazing the respect these guys have for each other, even if they're on opposing teams.
No, cricket is a game of respect, you know. Cricket is a game of respect. And on my right hand side, you've got I used to play with this man. Oh, just one day, and he runs in hard. And Becker running in there to cut off the second run, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Peter just tossing it in there. Is that going to be a 4? Trickling down. Yes, it is.
The umpire says yes.
And we are going to oblige to the young man's demands. Is Becky ready to be on camera? I'm about to just let him have a look there. There we go. A nice little wave there. Former teammate of ours.
Hopefully we'll see his son in a few years.
Also on the field, I agree. That one was a full one from Peter after putting one short. Him and his son were now live on TV, so they can go catch that on YouTube a bit later. I'm sure they'll enjoy that.
Look how happy that guy is.
Oh. Everybody knowing that one was going down leg. Even us, we could see from this side.
Yes.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, you will see how dark it is out there. it is not from a lack of camera work, but rather how dark it is actually getting out here in Bloemfontein. Like I said, there's no chance of rain, but the clouds are gathering and the sun is hiding behind the clouds, so the light is starting to dim a bit.
Yeah, and we only expect to get dark around about after 6. So yeah, this is basically only cloud cover stopping the light from getting through the clouds.
So we have a change of bowler. Peter Beekman going for 7. Gideon and Yaku going steadily. 102 after 11. Albertus just deciding to bowl with a cap, keeping it casual.
See, that ball was just knocked into no man's land.
That is very true. Easy single there. Easy single.
He's keeping that scoreboard ticking.
That's all you have to do sometimes. Just let it tick tick.
It's free 300. And it's
Up and over. And a beautiful shot for 4.
a little bit more than 8 overs still remaining.
Umpire Mohap is signaling a boundary there. Yaku Venter laying into that one. Like we're saying here on our side, it is very dark. It's not just the camera or the lack of light. It is actually gotten quite dark out here. The visibility that you're seeing on camera is actually as it is.
Oh, that's a big one.
Becker looking to take one. No, he does not. It goes right over his head. Over long on.
That's a beautiful 6.
Well hit. Yaku Venter getting into Albertus.
It looks so easy just picking up the ball and just rejecting it over there before 6.
That is very true, yeah.
But then
Oh, a quicker one. Edged. Do they want to take 2? They will have to. They'll have to be quick about this, and they scamper through for 2.
a bit of encouragement here from the side. So it's a teammate of yours?
A former teammate. We used to play somewhere together. Let me just think a bit here. Yes, Bloem Vikings used to be another team that I played for as well. They are sadly no longer around. Peter again into the attack. Oh! And he bowled him with a delivery that just died on him. Middle stump. As don't know if you guys can see clearly there back home. Like I said, the lighting is very bad right now. So we're also trying to just adjust the camera here for you viewers at home. Like we said, we'll always aim to give you the best coverage. Yeah, a bit of juice there, if I may.
Sure.
So full day of work today. Last week it was just one game. Today it was the whole day that we're out here.
Yeah.
And you had the displeasure of going from one field to another field to another field.
Yes.
And how was that? Talk us through it.
I don't mind moving from one field to another. It's only the timing that's different from one game to another, because the first game it wasn't, I'm not going to say it wasn't as well organized or timed as Moapi does in this game or this match, because they had a lot of other challenges which Moapi obviously doesn't have today. But because they were going on a little bit longer, I missed some of the game of the second match.
I understand.
And halfway through the first innings, I started live streaming. But that's what circumstances are about. You had the privilege of being here at the one field where the one game has to finish before the other one starts. It can't be played simultaneously on the same field. That's not going to happen. But otherwise, what I love about it is because there's a different vibe around each field. The crowd is a little bit different. It's all cricketers, but it's difficult to explain. The people here are a little bit more relaxed than the cheering crowd there at the bottom on field number 1. While at the Oval, we had this instance where the fielders, before they, the fielding team, before they went on, they lighted the fire. And as South Africans, we know that the coals will take about approximately an hour to be ready before you start your
braaiing.
Cooking your meat on it.
Of course.
And so it's a perfect thing for just starting that fire before you, especially if you are fielding first.
Yeah.
Which means when you are batting in the second innings, some of the guys can eat while the rest of only the 2 guys are batting in the midfield.
So true, Jurg. So true.
They worked that out perfectly, and they had guys at the side of the field where they keep telling them, listen, just check the calls if they are ready, put on some more or something like that, especially when they saw that the game was dragging out a little bit. Whoa!
Asking questions there by Mohapi. He's not interested. So I think I'm not sure who most probably it was Ayanda who was probably on the oval. I'm not certain, but I mean, even he has so much experience. So you need to know that when there's difficulties on the app, it's really something new and something they can't bypass. As you saw, and Becky's just running past here to make sure it's just a single. So yeah, I mean, even myself when I was umpiring, you would run into these problems where the app would just take forever, and there's nothing you can do besides to just stop the game.
Ooh,
let's see.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. This should be out.
Oh! Will that be considered being holding on to the ball, or is it dropped?
Peter Beekman. No, yeah, that is unfortunately dropped. Similar to yesterday, where a guy caught one, but he started celebrating too early. So you need to hold it for a few seconds. It needs to look convincing. It can't just jump out of your hands right after catching it. And they go again to Peter Beekman. That was such a valiant effort. He was about half a meter off the ground, diving towards his left. That was just...
I think the batsman is thanking his stars over there.
Definitely is.
He didn't expect that.
So CPI Masters cruising along, perhaps too slowly, one would argue. 124 for 3, 6 overs to go. Projected score continues to go down. They're looking at a maximum of 177 if they keep this up.
But then again, they've still got like 5 wickets in hand, so it might pick up here closer to the maybe 2 or 3 overs from now.
That is true. You're always looking to kick on there for those last 4 or 3 overs. That's a wide called by Moapi. Such a professional umpire. Lots of experience in different formats of the game, in different leagues.
I love this way of communication with you and Moapi. Having an understanding of, obviously you guys understand each other, and respecting and communicating with okay, we've got it, and well done. And
God, I mean, have you seen, I mean, I'm sure the people, looks like that one was a little bit high. How does Moapi feel about that? We'll wait for his signal. Nope, he's happy. Was dipping. Can always trust an umpire with that much experience. So he's in the Super League, and I believe he also does a few things for Cricket South Africa as well, like I had said earlier on in the Franchise League. So, good delivery there from Peter Beekman. Like I had said earlier on, stood a few games for the Knights, for some other franchise cricket teams, some 4-day cricket, some day-nighters, some day cricket. So this is nothing new to him. Oh, absolutely smash that in front of cover. That'll be 4 for Jaco Venter, gets him to 40 of 24.
tell me about the umpiring. Is it people need to write tests so that they can progress in like standings or the levels of umpiring?
So to give you a breakdown, yes, here there is. I see Peter Beekman pushing that one. Oh, he'll be angry with himself there. Should have been a dot, but it's not. So for LMS, it's an LMS test that you actually do have to write. It's online. You need 100% pass rate in order to be a qualified LMS umpire. Then you've got your level 1 umpiring, level 2 and level 3, and those are all written and some practicals. And I believe Mohapi's got the highest level, which is a level 3.
Sure.
And then after that, you just need to get games under your belt.
Okay.
The more games you stand, and of course, the less controversial you are and the more accurate you are, the higher you'll start moving up and the quicker you'll start moving up. For example, if nobody questions your LBW decisions and they are spot on, and TV replays show the LB decision is spot on, and you catch the inside edges, and that is a lovely shot, but just for one. Sorry for that. And you know, if you're accurate, an accurate umpire is a good umpire, and he gets recommended for higher levels. That's how you build your reputation to get the bigger games, to be in the Momentum One Day Cup, you know, and then to be in that is chipped, but it looks to be safe. You know, so there you go, yeah. Just to give you an idea as to how to make it.
Okay.
If teams don't complain about you and teams prefer you because you're fair, then you're in it.
So there's an avenue for people playing LMS cricket, like many of you guys that umpire as well, to go and start a career as a cricket umpire.
That is correct.
The possibility is there.
The possibility is there. You know, they always say that you don't know what to do with yourself, but there are so many opportunities. You just need to, and it just came down too early for it. As I'm saying there, it's just up to you. You know, the opportunities are there. I mean, like, look at what you're doing. You're not just involved with LMS, you're involved with the rugby, the netball, the university, the Free State Rugby Union. So people be like, what do you do for a living? What do you do for this? Every little bit of, and that's how you become an entrepreneur. Yeah. You know, a bit of work here, a bit of work there, a bit of work over here. Before you know it, you are wanted everywhere, and you're making good money.
I can tell you now, a month ago, I never thought of myself going to be a commentator for any sport. Not that I never thought it was going to be possible. I always thought about it's going to be fun to do something. Like I always imagined myself, like when you watch or listen to radio commentating. Yeah. And I remember when I was little, watch a rugby game. You've got like these guys. They are. I don't want to copy them, but you got like this guy telling, "Oh, he's going on for this ball. He's walking to that," and I love that. And it's obviously easier to do it in your mother tongue, but still, you can, especially radio commentators. Those guys, they are characters on their own because you don't see them,
and they need to paint a picture.
Yes.
You know, so if you think about it, it's a bit more difficult.
It is.
Peter Beekman standing here at Longhoff. He had a good chance there, valiant effort when he was at cow corner. See if anything easier might be coming in his direction. No. Jason pulls out of that one. Went for 16 in his first over. See if he can do a bit of a comeback. Bowls it short. Over. Extra cover. Trickles away for 4.
And he's punished for that.
You know, you're talking about your favorite commentators, and earlier in the day, I think it was the Mega Meisters game and also the Bulldogs game, where I just said, you grow up wanting to be a cricketer. Then from there you say, maybe I want to be an umpire. And then you say, how about commentating? That looks like fun. And to be able to actually be part of the game and to actually come and commentate on a live game. That is hit. Will it be caught? No. Over long off.
I'm going to search a while for that one.
Should not have walked in on that delivery. Jacob Venter. I believe that was his 50. Yep, 51, 29 deliveries. Got CPI Masters to 146 for 3. 16.3 overs gone. Projected score 176. So as I was saying, you know, I listened to Hugh Jackman chatting about the game. I listened to Steve Warne, Shane Warne, you know, I listened to Mackay and Tini, Sean Pollock. Listen to these guys commentate, you know. I listened to the Just Don't Know Sir. I think it's one of the Jamaican umpires. I mean the Jamaican West Indies, my apologies. One of the West Indies players, former players, also commentating. Just forgot my commentators. You know, when you're on live, when you're doing something live and you're thinking of something and it's not coming to you, you're gonna feel silly about this later on. That is an absolute peach delivery. Probably one of the better deliveries of the day from Jason. You know, you just listen to how they chat and how they talk and how inviting it is. And you just want to sit and listen. And then, of course, there are other commentators that don't exactly make you want to watch. You know, you kind of want to just be like, why you? But, I mean, even those ones, they're still trying to find their feet. You know, build their DNA. And they're trying to take all the information and mold themselves into who they want to be. And with that said, you know, I don't know if I have a favorite commentator, but just listening to all those guys, I'm like, loved it from the word go, definitely. So we've got the same sentiment here.
I think for me, okay, this is only in a short space of time. This is my 4th game commentating, but still, I think that the first thing you get over is the one thing you thought you're going to struggle with the most is being nervous. If you're going to make a mistake or something like that. But somehow that's the first thing that I got underneath was relaxing.
Yeah.
I might not be able to get to the words I'm looking for first time around, but I feel a lot more relaxed now, and I feel I don't stutter that much anymore. I still do, I probably always will, but I'm not worried about that.
No, Jurg, there's no need to be worried about making mistakes. Many commentators make mistakes here and there. And of course, the most natural thing to do is, my apologies, that was a mistake on my end. So let me just give you the correct information. So that's the nice thing about being able to commentate. But no, I think the nerves, they were there maybe in the beginning, but the moment that first delivery gets bowled, you have to switch on, just like the rest of the players that are on the field.
And somehow even me being Afrikaans, speaking English, I feel that obviously the best way to learn a language is to speak it a lot. And commentating in not my mother tongue, I can already feel that I'm doing better than what I've been doing last week.
Definitely, Jurg. And you know, one of the guys asked me, oh, he tosses it up. Peter Beekman running across camera there just to pick that up for one. Easy one. I think Peter took one catch already for the day. He was standing at deep square in the first 10 innings, or cow corner.
Whoa.
Chandray just keeping it nice and tidy there. So myself speaking English, not a problem. Speaking Afrikaans, not a problem as well. As I was saying, one of the guys, they asked like, gaan jy in Afrikaans kommentaar? En ek sê toe vir hulle, nee, ons kan nie. Dit is LMS. Jy weet, ons moet dit in Engels doen. So I just wanted to speak a bit of Afrikaans there for those ones there at home, to know that me and Jurg can communicate in Afrikaans if we wanted to, but of course we understand that this is a global sport. So Moapi signaling again there for us a wide. As I say, so professional in what he does. So much etiquette. Nice little shot there for one.
The thing about, I think, being South African is you speak Afrikaans without an accent. You've got no Afrikaans accent, or that you are English or whatever other language. You always speak Afrikaans like Oak is speaking Afrikaans since he was born. Growing up in an Afrikaans house, as if it was your own language. Oh, that's beautiful.
That is a beautiful little pull shot, and it makes its way to the boundary.
It looks like a bit of miscommunication there.
Moapi there just checking if it's a boundary, and we were just agreeing with him to say that it made it all the way. Peter Beekman teasing his fellow fielders there to saying like, hey, don't run away from it. Up in the air, that should be caught. Yo. Yes, it is.
Without flinching, as if it's as natural as daylight.
Easy catch.
Easy catch. Done it millions of times.
Of course. Jason getting the wicket. Good catch there. Yeah, no, come from Katu. Of, like they say in Afrikaans, Katu. I don't know if you could hear the difference there from English to Afrikaans. I mean, a town like Bloemfontein remains Bloemfontein regardless of how you try to say it. Marek van Katu, so that is a small town, used to be, and it was just Afrikaans there. Got the Afrikaans background there. Went on Afrikaans preschool. Went to an Afrikaans primary school. Then switched it up. Went to Potchefstroom Boys High for a bit of English, and then found myself here in the heart of South Africa, Central South Africa, Free State. Been here since 2010 as a student.
What did you study?
Studied marketing, and then I did project management afterwards, so 2 qualifications. And I also did an academic advising course, something very important for youngsters in the line of work that I do outside of my Sunday job. You know.
Yeah, I also studied project management through UNISA.
Lovely.
So
Exact.
the advanced one.
Yes.
With the office. Because I actually did 2 courses. One was at Intech College, but that was like a beginner's course, and it wasn't electronically. I'm not exactly sure. But with the second one, I had to study MS Project as well.
Yes.
So to do the project management and align it electronically, your tasks, and well, you'll know the details.
I'll know the details. That is true. MS Projects and Mind Genius.
Yeah, so the first one was just basically the generic stuff and understanding how to get to grips of organizing a project.
exactly, you know, timelines, early start, late start,
Yes.
early finish, the Gantt chart,
Oh yeah.
the project charter, advanced project management that we're chatting here. The viewers at home, don't mind us. Me and Yercha just really vibing, is what you would say. Chemistry is good between us.
And you understand, Katu, my wife comes from a town not far away from Katu, in a place called Kuruman.
Up with the shot before
And
Quentin.
I believe my father-in-law, he's staying in Katu now. He's a carpenter. He used to work in the mines, and now he moved to Katu and he's working from there now.
Lovely. And there's lots of work now for a carpenter in Katu. It's a little town that's trying to become a big town. I don't know if they'll ever get to a city status, but they are well and truly on their way there. Kuruman is about 30 minutes drive from Katu, so about a 44 kilometers, and you need to pass Kuruman before you get to Katu. Oh, charging down there is Daryl, and they're scampering for two. They know that they need to get a lot of runs in this last over.
He just had put in an application to hit a 4 there and just missed it.
You know, they're asking Quentin to do the tidy up work here. 160. Yeah, this is very defendable. 161. 2 more balls to go. Quentin steaming in for 2 more deliveries and a dot ball. That one just nipping away, as I would like to think, or maybe just went straight and the batsman played and missed.
So who's the captain for the CPI Crusaders?
I am not exactly sure. There are so many leaders here. Peter Beekman is a leader. Becky is a leader. Who else could I say is a leader? So many leaders here. Lost delivery. Balls are wide. Mohapi again just signaling in our direction that was a wide delivery.
I kind of would have expected the Masters to change their pace closer to the end of the innings.
You mean the Crusaders with their bowling? I would.
The Masters
with the batting.
With the batting, yes.
Oh yes.
I thought I would have taken a little bit more chances. Or
hits it hard. Are they going to come back for 2? They should, but they decide not to. And they finished the game. 163.
It looks like the app is lagging a little. Oh,
there we go. It's at this point that I would normally just take a minute to walk away from the camera and the mic. So I think, if you wouldn't mind, we could switch the camera onto us, have a chat so that the people back home could see how we look like. Would you be fine with that?
I'll be fine with that.
Alright, so we're just positioning ourselves correctly here. Bringing the mic in closer. I'm happy walking off here. Well managed there with the time, 1 hour and 8 minutes. Moapi is a stickler for time. He does not want any time wasting. As we switch the camera to myself and Yerg. There we are.
Hello everybody.
As you guys can see who your commentators are, we have our mic right here. So this is what I was doing earlier on. So I would just put on the mic, ask the guys to come and have a chat with me. And I think what I'll do next week is when they come and talk to me, I'll actually switch the camera.
Okay. Yeah, sure, no problem. You can even later ask Arthur if we can get like a thing on top here with the LMS logo on it.
That is true.
So that do a bit of branding.
So that they can actually see who's talking, you know. Yes. I know normally they also show this in the commentary box just so that you guys can see exactly who's your commentator. So not sure how the viewers are seeing this. Are they seeing it like this as well? On your right is Yerg and on your left is myself, Mola, with the LMS cap. And together we've been commentating for about a whole week now.
A week. It is exactly a week. I think with the first game last week we started on the last game of the day.
That is true.
Exactly, it was a 2:15 game. And
Started
now
very late though.
it started around about 3 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, I think almost at 4. I got home at 6. But lots of things were happening on that day. Unlike today where the game actually started on time. And it's actually 5 minutes past 4. And the game started exactly at 3 o'clock. So like I said, Mohapi, on it.
Stickler for time.
Stickler for time. Making sure that you at home actually, when they say 3 o'clock, you're there. And when they say the game will be done at 5 or 5 past 5, that you understand it.
Yeah, it helps you guys to make plans at home. If you've got something to do at, say, 6 o'clock or so, you know when the cricket is going to be over. Although as much as you like to watch the cricket, we still have personal lives, things that we have to do, especially on a Sunday. Those who have got to go to work the next morning, your personal time is precious, so you don't want somebody else wasting it. So yeah, these people are working together to be on time and respecting basically your time as well.
That is very true, and without you guys, of course, there is no cricket. I know all the wives and girlfriends are cheering for their husbands. I had a little girl earlier on in the day walking around the field here, and she was telling me, I'm sure she'll be happy that I'm talking about her. She was like, my oma sê ek moet omloop en by die kamera kom. You know, to translate, it means that she was saying that her grandmother was telling her to walk past the camera so that they can see her back home. And she duly obliged. She would do it occasionally and wave at the camera, and I would be like, hello. Here and there, of course, I have to press the mute button, you know, because she would get into the box of where I would be in, and she'd be like, oh, hello, how are you? And I didn't want to put her on air, you know, keep it professional still.
Yes.
So I would just have a little chat here and there with her in between. But anyways, that was kind of funny. While you're trying to work, spectators making their way to you.
Yeah,
did you experience any of that today?
Not really. I actually had the one parent asking her kid not to walk past the camera in front because a kid was walking with a dog.
Oh, I understand.
And there's no problem filming a kid with a dog or whatever, but the mother feel like, listen, don't get onto the internet or whatever. And we can understand why kids or parents are scared for getting their kids on social media or being filmed.
You never know.
We don't see any potential problems here.
But you never know who's watching.
That's exactly when you let your guard down. When things like that happen.
Yeah. Like now we had kids. It's actually funny how we changed the camera to us. We had lots of kids playing in and about here on the field. I'm sure parents wouldn't mind, and the kids would probably also love it. They look like they're old enough to say, "Mommy, I was on TV. Can I see myself?" You know, they still call it TV, not knowing that it's on YouTube, which can also be on TV. So CPI Masters have walked onto the field. Arthur Kruger is on field, and the lads are confident and happy here. I think it's about time we focus back on the players. That's who people are here to see. So on that note, guys, it was very nice to see you. Now you guys know who your commentators are. Let's focus on Masters as they are warming up and getting themselves ready. As you see there again, the lighting on the field is very, very dark.
Is it fine? I'm going to pop down to the braai over there quickly.
Sure
See
thing.
what's happening over there, and I'll be back.
Sure thing, Jurg. I will see you when you're back. No problem. CPI Masters putting on 163 in their 20 overs. We've got Mohapi walking back onto the field for the last hour, last half of the game. Batsmen should also be making their way momentarily onto the field. It's been a long day of cricket. Not sure how many of you have logged in and had a watch. I know our Bloemfontein organizers did log in, have a bit of a watch. They thoroughly enjoyed that first game as it had a bit of everything. Second game was a bit more convincing, a bit more one-sided, especially towards the end. And over here, CPI Masters against the Crusaders. Not exactly sure what to expect. As you folks can see, it's gotten very, very, very dark again. There's absolutely no sunlight whatsoever. As we're trying our hardest here to off the mark. It's exactly what you want. A good start there. Just trying to set this camera correctly for you guys at home. As we're fighting with a bit of darkness, like we had mentioned earlier on. The lighting is not so great at the moment. Not to worry, ladies and gentlemen, the live feed will be with us in a moment. Lots of cloud coverage here, lots of wind. As we're just trying to get the lighting going on here for you guys. Easier said than done, of course. Coming in again, good delivery. As you guys can hear, the wind is blowing extensively on our side. Still waiting for Mohapi to update the live scoring there, so that you guys at home can also just follow. Just trying to catch it up. At the moment, it doesn't seem to be catching up.
Sure. The wind is picking up.
Yes, yeah, the wind is picking up, and then also the live scoring is just out of sync with us, so unfortunately we're not up to date with what's happening over there. But we will survive.
Depending on what happens next week, I'll bring you one of these as well.
Oh, they look absolutely like a treat.
That's my wife. Do you eat chilies or hot food?
Yes, yeah, those are quite delicious, to be quite honest.
Garlic?
Yes, always brings out the flavor.
So I can add those in these patties because I made them. It's mushrooms and cheese inside.
Definitely, I would not object to that.
And the reason I use panini buns is because the other buns they can't hold their own on.
That makes sense. And Mr. Mohapi has come through for us here. As we saw, Daryl was the one who was bowling, and Albertus and David are the openers for CPI Crusaders. Bowling a good channel there. So we've made some camera adjustments here. We are hoping that the viewers at home here are gonna be able to see now, because the angle that we got, putting that one nice and hard into the wicket. We're hoping that with the way we've set up the angle of this camera, they'll be able to actually see a bit better. It won't be as dark. Like we said earlier on, lovely shot there, but just for one.
Actually, I have a better tripod, but it doesn't. I can't put a phone on it. More suited for video camera.
Like the one I saw you using this morning. That looked like absolutely amazing equipment.
And it worked pretty well until I tried to stream, because I zoom into that where the guys
He's run up it. And you can actually follow, isn't it?
Because it's CMOS sensor inside the camera, so that it keeps the focus on whatever's moving.
Amazing stuff. Keeping it down to one. So quite obvious that the Crusaders did not get the start that the Masters did. Don't want to say it was to be expected, but every player is different. Every team's got its own plan. There are different ways to get to that total. Goes up and over. Oh my, that should have been a wicket. And it's a 4, signaled by Mohapi.
I think the expression is, there's many ways to skin a cat.
There you go. There's many ways to skin a cat. What an absolute beautiful shot there by David. Daryl putting it into the area, asking to be hit. Should have been a wicket. Goes again. Beautiful cover drive. I say cover drive because it was a cover drive. Even though you saw the man at mid-off coming in, it was actually towards extra cover. That drive that he just played. Albertus on strike. Off the gloves. Can just see that the crowd is still here. There's still lots of children.
So if I'm right, if there was a gully there now, the gully would have caught that.
If there was a, what do they call it?
A slip or something.
Let me see what are these positions here. So Jurgen's asking a very good question there. So if there was a leg slip or a leg gully, yeah, he would have been in the money there. Because that is actually very well renowned area for Test cricket. Your Mitchell Johnson and your Starks, because they're left-handers and they come in at 145 into your rib cage towards the lower batting order batsmen who can't exactly handle that. That's normally where they get those wickets. The ball comes fast, but absolutely cracked that over extra cover. Mid-off. Could not get there, and Mohapi signals a 4.
And the position Jonty Rhodes was famous for is that point?
That is point and backward point. I think he actually made backward point very famous. He would stand at backward point and cover point, backward point and gully all simultaneously. If it was in the air for that long, it was in his area. Change of bowler. Moapi just updating everything there. We're a little bit out of sync with each other. There we go. 19 runs gone, 3 overs bowled. Marco van Jaarsveld coming in for his second over. Comes in short.
Oh, we won't appreciate that.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was picked up. And it looked like it went over a long leg. Easy as you like it. Well, welcome to the game there, David. He looks keen to hit a few. What CPI Masters needs to be careful of here is they mustn't think they've got more than enough runs on the board. We've had one game where the team chased down runs. We have one game where they were able to defend it. So it's a 50-50. So this is not a chasing wicket, nor is it a wicket to defend against, you know. So batting first or batting second can go either way. So let's just hope that CPI Masters will start bowling a little bit tighter. Oh, inside edge, nothing Arthur Kruger could do with that. Fortunately, they've got a third man. Easily gets to that. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, it has gotten very dark. Oof, balls are wide. Very wayward delivery that was. But not a problem for Arthur to get in there and stop the extras. Down leg. Arthur again is able to just get to that.
Sorry for my silence, was just stuffing my face for a second or two. Very nice.
Again, lovely shot. Down to Daryl there. mix it up just for one. No problem here. Everyone has to eat. I already, like I said to everybody, I already ate my nice meal. Kept me going. Still keeping me going.
And I'll organize you a burger for next Sunday as well. If next Sunday is on the cards.
Oh, Arthur will be disappointed there. That was very, very wide from Marco van Jaarsveld.
But according to how things went this week, there's more and more teams wanting some commentating
Yeah.
and live streaming.
Means-
It's like there isn't enough people, and there was actually 2 guys who were supposed to train with us today, but they couldn't for some reason. I think they started late or something like that.
We understand. And I mean, we are going to need these guys to come in and commentate, because there's going to be some Sundays where Mola will be playing for Pumas.
Yeah.
And he will not be able to come and commentate.
Yeah, but either way, there's 3 fields here. So it's 3 games being played simultaneously. There's no way we can cover all the games.
That is true. That is very, very true. Something to talk to management about.
Yeah, and we are getting paid for this. Whoever is going to help out, they will be getting paid.
Of course, you do need to get paid. You are taking your whole Sunday away
Yes.
to do this, not free labor. Of course, we'll not disclose how much you're getting, because nobody says how much they earn. That is
That's not the
confidential.
point.
Yeah,
We are here because we like doing this.
that is true.
That payment is just an extra bonus.
Well, Daryl, after asking questions there, throwing the ball there at the stumps to say, hey, are you in your crease? Daryl just making sure that this is a tidy over. I mean, just to scare you, Jarg. At this point of the game, CPI Masters had double the runs.
Sure. But that's 34. So the total was around 60 something.
Yeah, they were around 68 at this time of the game. Just as they lost that partnership on 65 for 1. So still lots of work to do, but they're coming along nicely. 129 off 77, very achievable.
But we wouldn't discount Arthur's team, because we saw last week where they came back in this.
Catch me, and yes, you saw it live on TV. Daryl getting the wicket. Good catch there from Jock, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, you'll see that today I've played a lot with the angles. I was a bit behind, I was a bit squarish. Just trying to get as much of the cricket ground as I could cover for people just to see, you know?
I think it's always good to change perspective of a game.
Very good.
So that people watching at home don't get bored with the same view every time. Especially us doing it on a phone. Our range of visibility around the field isn't that much.
Yeah.
So trying to be creative and do whatever we can to get a different perspective onto the game also always adds to getting more experience in doing this better.
That is very true.
Sometimes it won't work. Sometimes the angle just doesn't work for you. But then you're stuck in that angle for maybe for that hour or whatever. And the best thing is to learn from that. That's what I learned from videography. Is sometimes you are faced with a challenge and you don't get it perfect, but you find out how you shouldn't do it again.
That is true. Daryl coming into Peter Peckman, who's on strike. He's a very capable batsman.
I think it's like with Thomas Edison, where they said he had tried for 100 times or he failed 99 times. But then he said, I didn't fail 99 times. I found 99 ways how it shouldn't work.
Lovely. Now that is a way of thinking. That is, I mean, look at us today. How many technical issues did we have? Not as many.
I had a lot.
But how different were they from the last time when we were streaming? You know, it wasn't an issue of battery.
No, this time the battery thing is sorted out.
You understand? So every week you are smoothing out the process.
Battery is sorted out. I unfortunately couldn't get this overlay to work on my phone, but that is hopefully being sorted out with the new phone from tomorrow on. And I tried using a video camera as an external camera to stream the game, which looked perfectly on the phone. But then we had the connectivity or the app problem where things just didn't pull through.
I understand.
And yeah, which was a pity because I actually was looking forward to doing it that way.
That way, I get you. Oh, Bloemfontein.
Because I even
Turning it there, 1 or 2
crafted
deliveries.
the thing here for my phone. See this thing. Put the video camera on here,
Yes, yes.
and then they call it the hot shoe of the video camera. I put in there, and that goes onto the tripod. And then on top, I made this from an old lunchbox. That goes in there.
Bloemfontein just asking a lot of questions. Oh, every batsman is coming into bat there. Almost got Pieter Beekman on a very, very shortish, temptish delivery.
This thing is okay. Then you stream where the camera is going into the phone through that part over there.
Okay.
So then you've got your phone like that, and you don't have the sun
All clearing on
glaring
it.
on it.
Lovely.
And yeah, the hole in the back is just so that you can push it out. Otherwise, it's going to get stuck in there.
Gonna get stuck in there. Jurgen, as always, our tech guy, our commentator, our Mr. Information, our Mr. Stats. Very good with the psychology, like you said. Psychological perspective, always important on a cricket day. And always these things that he shows me every week that we're together. I'm always excited to see that. You know, Jurgen, when I come to cricket on Sunday, I'm always very excited to bump into you, have a little chat, start the day off right. And I always just think to myself, like, on the other side, my co-commentator is also having a jaw.
Always. For me, okay, I don't know about other people or about watching cricket.
Gideon, sorry, there. Gideon Pieter van Zyl, that is not a mistake. That is literally his name and surname. Coming in there, just bowling a wide. Him and Pieter Beekman are the two guys that were chummy with each other when Pieter Beekman was bowling to him, asking questions, and so is Arthur again throwing it onto the stumps. You were saying, yeah?
Arthur is just making sure that batsman doesn't walk out of his crease because he constantly throws those stumps off.
All the time.
Allowing him to see, listen,
I am
stay in your
watching
crease.
you. Stay in your crease.
I can't remember why it was.
Lost your train of thought?
I lost my train of thought.
It was something to do with the people watching back home.
Oh yeah. People like my wife don't like cricket that much. Besides that, she doesn't understand it so much. Because on top of psychology, I love stats. That's why I'm looking at possibilities of how things are being projected to play out. And then seeing whether they are going to...
Oh, that was a beautiful shot, Jurg.
Whether something is going to happen like you predict.
Yes.
It's like gambling but without losing money.
That is true. Gambling without the risk.
Yes.
Pieter Beekman just playing an absolute beautiful shot there. Straight drive. 1 bounce to the field. There could have been 1 bounce 4 as well.
So from a perspective of a cricket enthusiast watching cricket. I could sometimes imagine some of them getting bored watching the game, especially if the game gets to a point where there's not much happening. But for me at the moment, I'm learning so much every time. Like I said, now I'm learning field positions. I'm still getting them wrong, but now I get an idea what is a cover drive and what is mid on and mid off, and it's terms I didn't know that well before. I have heard them, but I didn't know what they mean exactly.
That is very, very understandable. Coming into a new sport, having to learn everything, basically like basics. And basics is just knowing the fundamentals of cricket. Right arm bowler, left arm bowler, a seamer, a spinner, a batsman, what's the crease, what's a wicket, you know, the simple stuff. Before you get to the creativity of what shot that was, what type of a catch it is, you know. It's like for example, I know you like rugby. It's like somebody saying it's a scrummage, not knowing what that is. You know, what's a forward player, backline player, what do you call that? What's a maul? You know, someone would be thinking like, oh, Peter Beekman playing another straight one of his favorite shots, unfortunately caught on the boundary by mid-on. On the onside, running all the way around there to catch him. That was exquisite. Good cricket being played all around there. Jaco Venter taking that wicket.
But the Masters are stamping down some authority over here, don't you think?
Say that again, yeah?
The Masters, the CPI Masters, they're stamping out some authority here. They're not allowing many runs to come through. They're taking out the wickets. They're like dominating the game right now. Or the match.
You know, like I had said, the way CPI Masters started this game, it looked like they were in control. It looked like they wanted to have a convincing win. So far, it seems to be the case. You know, we haven't had our change of sides yet, but all is looking CPI Masters. It looks like they can do no wrong. Everything they touch turns to gold. They inadvertently look like masters of the game, like they call themselves CPI Masters.
But if you're going to look at the standings right now, at the moment, Masters are on top of the log in any way with 44 points. And Crusaders are down 4 places from there. Second is Meisters, then Bloem Bombers, then you get the Warriors, and then you get the Crusaders in in 5th place with 36 points. Trailing my mistake, sorry, with 25 points. So actually they're a quite long way down from the Masters. So they haven't proven themselves that much to be called themselves on top of the log, or expecting to be on top of the log.
And looking at the Meisters versus Warriors game, that must mean that the Warriors caused a bit of an upset.
Yeah, being in the 4th place.
Yeah, with the Warriors winning that one and winning it convincingly.
Didn't even know what to expect for that day.
But then again, like I said earlier on, Jaden was the play of the day.
Sure, it's getting dark again.
Very dark, and that is well picked up. One bounce for 4 over deep mid wicket. Nope, deep square. Mwapi just waiting.
Somebody will be searching a ball now. I found it quite quickly.
Just trying to confirm with the fielder that was a 4. Yes, it was. So the Toxics are at the bottom, but they did not play like a team that was at the bottom. Oh. And they pick it up again. Jaco Venter going for 10 and 2 deliveries. What a 6. You saw it here live. You saw exactly where it went. I need not to explain the fielding position where that one went over. You could see it for yourself on camera. And if you're on YouTube right now, you surely saw it as well. Jaco Venter, you need to pull it in a bit.
Something happening with their motivation over there. obviously thought about changing the pace now. Need to score runs.
Definitely cannot be buried like this now, can they? We've got Gideon Peter van Zyl coming back. He's bowled 2 over. He's gone for 2 runs in his 1 over, meaning that he was nice and tidy. He is bowling to David. Plays it to square, running out opportunity. No, keeping it tight again.
Sure, there's a nice vibe going on around the field now, eh?
Very lovely vibe going around the field. People are just relaxing. Like I said to you, this has been a very nice day of cricket actually today.
And actually, the cloud cover is breaking the heat right now.
Yes,
So
it is.
Though it doesn't look that well on the camera, maybe, but we've got here kids playing cricket there on the far side. We've got music play here from the people just to the right of us. And then we've got a few family members just sitting around enjoying the game. Threw out some blankets, made them some comfortable. Yeah, it's kids playing all around. What more can you want for a Sunday?
Speaking of what more you want, Gideon would have wanted a catch there.
Can't always get what you want.
No, you cannot. And that is why our spectators are getting what they want.
They are.
Bit of cloud coverage. So it's like Jurg said there, he likes the psychology part. So he just painted a picture. Like you said, he likes to inform you of things you cannot see. And he did that just brilliantly right now. Telling you about the spectators on the side. Gideon is coming in again.
Ooh.
That one is up in there. That should be taken. I think Dave is underneath that one.
Oh.
And Dave is clean as houses. Safe as a house. My apologies. What a catch, Dave. Running in. And guess what? You guys saw it once more on camera. So I need not to explain where he was running in from when he caught that.
Looking at these guys, you can get that sense of there's no danger of him dropping that ball.
Not at all. There are just some players, when a ball comes in your direction, you know we are celebrating.
Yes.
And Devon is one of those. Like I said, the man has been to Varsity Cup, played for CUT1, went to England, came back, and I think he's also part of the FPL or something like that. There's another sort of like a franchise that's being organized here in the Free State. I think they also wanted him there, but as you guys can see, he's here playing LMS. You guys are seeing the best that we've got to offer, and they are delivering. This is not mediocre cricket.
Have you ever had some of the Knights playing with you guys?
Yes, we have here a few seasons ago. We had a few nights that they played for Bloem Rebels.
Okay, I remember them, yes.
Yeah, so they played a few games for Bloem Rebels. That was kind of exciting, kind of fun. Remember, this is a reduced pace, so they couldn't bowl at 100% pace. LMS is all about, managing the game. You can only bowl from between 10 to 12 meters. So if your run-up is normally longer than that, you'd have to make sure it fits within the guidelines and the rules of that LMS is set out. After all, this is a social league. It's competitive, but anybody can play. I mean, right now, if somebody said, listen, Jurg, we want you next week, you'd be able to play. And you'd probably have yourself a lot of fun. So 9 overs gone, 53 for 3. The game slightly moving away here from CPI Crusaders. They need 164 to win. They require 111. They've got 55 balls. Crusaders, if you guys are gonna get going, this is the over to do it in. You cannot wait any longer. You need to kick on right now.
I get the sense of the Masters having like a bird in their hand with the other hand around their throat, just like squeezing it, keeping them in check, not killing them but telling them, okay, we've got you.
And you're not getting anywhere.
You're not going anywhere. Let's finish this game. be respectful, but we're not going to hurt each other, but you're not going to get much done either.
Exactly. Arthur there, very quick behind the stumps. Mohapi again signaling a wide. He's been very consistent with his signals. It's what you love to see from an LMS umpire. Not dropping any standards. Asking questions. Is Arthur there quick with those gloves again?
Appeal to the umpire says nope.
That is very true. That is bowling very well.
It's actually amazing to see, without blowing Arthur's horn the whole time, a guy at his age being so quick behind the stumps. Obviously he's played for a long time and he's got all this knowledge.
That's just batted away. Sorry, here. That's a well-needed boundary from Crusaders there. That'll push them to 60 for 3.
Yes.
Quinton getting that boundary. Yeah, you know, like you're saying, without speaking too much about one specific player, he's doing well. Not sure how old he is, but he is definitely very agile behind the wickets. Haven't seen anybody in the league, you know, who is actually rivaling his ability behind the stumps, if you were to take wicketkeeper standards into consideration.
I haven't seen up to this point yet.
You know, and besides, most of the teams don't actually have a specialist wicketkeeper. They just have somebody who can more or less keep. You know, can you catch the ball? Can you block it?
There's a lady running down the field now. Who's just supportive. Because I remember Arthur once told me that they've got women playing here as well.
That would be lovely to see. And here's the man we've been talking about, standing. He's probably smiling. That is up. Will that be caught? No! Deep mid wicket lets that one just slide out of his hands. So we've got Devon standing here in camera view. He's standing at long on. So they're asking him to cover the long on area and cow corner, which he says he's taking a rest, but we know anything in cow corner, he'll come running around to come and pick that up. He batted very well. Speaking of him,
I like this on the back, Inglorious Legends. Have you seen that Inglorious Bosses?
I've seen that movie. I believe the man who dropped the catch now, I think that's Cully. He's a leg spinner, standing now there at deep mid wicket. That's Cully Potgieter, a very good leg spinner.
Apologies for assuming it was a goal.
Yeah, no, that seems to be Cully Potgieter. His looks are so good that Jurg thought you were a goal. Something to be impressed about. Will they cut that off? No, they do not. And that's gonna stop before the boundary? Yes, it does. It actually does. And there we have the man that we're talking about, Devon, there in front of the camera.
So if you are watching this, Cully, I apologize for assuming you were a goal.
Also, Cully, shouldn't be feeling insulted. It means you look that good from far. Just having a nice little laugh here. It's nice to know these guys personally. So let's just have a look here.
But it's a small build.
Yeah, Cully is quite short, very muscular though. You'll see him in person. I think from here is a bit far. I didn't actually almost know where he was standing earlier on. But yeah, very ripped, very strong cricketer.
Okay.
Bench is 120, says Dev. I'll believe him. He looks like he's packed on a little bit of something. Dev is having a laugh there. Says, I need to see it with my own 2 eyes before I believe this. Oh, Gideon asking questions, and Mohapi says, yes, sir. You've got yourself a wicket. Gideon well bowled. Quinton sadly has to walk back to square leg there. It is all going downhill now for Crusaders. They need 100. They need 100 or 46 balls. Is it doable?
I think it's going to be very, very difficult.
I'll tell you what, I thought the same thing when Toxic was in this situation. And they just blew my mind away. Again, every game is different. But let's just wait until it's definitely not possible.
Yeah, I think it can. The circumstances can change so much so that they are perfect for somebody who hasn't performed until now. We haven't seen playing in these kind of circumstances with the weather being like it is now. Maybe it's just perfect for the next batsman coming in. They probably don't even know it themselves, but they can find their focus and become legendary.
That is very true. %16%. That's how much battery life was left on our phones before we put it on there now, because my power bank had given up. And that is a wide Kalipot hitter coming into ball, that one not turning. So he's been working very hard for the past season and a half. Okay. Hopefully we'll get to see the results in this match of his hard work. David is on strike. I assume David will be eyeing this deep mid-wicket cow corner region. Let's see what Kali does. Again, it doesn't turn. Now, the problem with LMS is once you bowl the second wide, it's no longer just an extra run. It's now become 3. So you coming around the wickets now. Bowls it very lovely. Probably not getting as much turn as he wants to.
But comparing Kali's small size, you can see now that Devon is quite a big guy. He could quite easily be playing
rugby, catch it. Oh!
Play rugby or even basketball or something with his length.
That is very true. And you just have Jock there slipping up. You know when it's going downhill for you, Dierg, you've bowled a wide and you bowl another wide, so it's already 4 runs. And you've only bowled 1 ball, and then you bowl you bowl another ball, singled, and you bowl not even a bad ball. You've got a fielder there, supposed to be 1, and it just squeezes past. So all of a sudden you're under pressure.
It's lady luck turning on you.
That is very true. Hearing a bit of thunder rumbling there, the clouds rumbling, sounding agitated. He's back to over the wickets. Just checking all devices if it's the battery maybe.
No, it's 45%.
Alright.
So now it's just my wife asking me to bring, when I come home I should bring bread.
There we go. Husband duties there, babe. You bring something home with you when you come. So Kali's over was a bit expensive. I'm sure he'll be back in the attack. Gideon has been very, very tidy. 2 wickets, 8 runs conceded, 3 overs bowled. Johannes Becker on strike with the floppy head.
All of a sudden everything changed now as well. Maybe it's because music has driven away. Now it's all quiet here.
The atmosphere is a bit quiet, and CPI Masters are making a couple of mistakes that they shouldn't be making as they steal one there.
Do you think they're over relaxed maybe?
Yeah, you know, it happens where things just kind of diddle away, nothing's really happening. Becker playing it down here. Dev coming from long onto cow corner, covered the ground so quickly. Just pulling Dev's leg there. Guys are having a good laugh, a good chat.
Is she thoroughly relaxed there now?
Oh, well bowled from Gideon, but also well played from David there. Johannes Becker back on strike again.
I like his hat.
Yeah, making you think about Sir Viv Richards and other legendary West Indian batsmen who would normally go into Test cricket and bat with the floppy.
Okay.
Along with some Australian batsmen as well back in the day.
I've seen it a lot where the fielders at the boundaries with those kind
That is up in the air. Will Dev get all the way around? Yes, he does, but bounces short. Cully throwing that one in. Couple of bounces to the fielder there. So Cully standing at deep square leg. And we had Dev running all the way from long on to deep mid wicket along with Cully. Just shows you how quick these guys are. Even though they're relaxed, still won't let the boundaries come through easily. Johannes Becker is in the mood to get as many runs as he possibly can. He doesn't care what the gaming conditions are. Moapi signaling a wide to us there. This also happened in the Mega Meisters and Warriors game where things just fizzled out a bit. Oh, speaking of fizzling out, Becker is saying to me, hey you Mr. Commentator, I am exciting and I am playing my shots. Nothing is boring here today. I take it back, Becker.
But you still got the kids over there playing. Oops, I just hit the ball into the field.
Having their own little cricket tournament there on the side.
But this darkening weather isn't phasing them a little bit.
Not even a little bit. Just having a look here at all the stats that you've accumulated here for us.
Now next time if they update this,
Asking them to catch it. And Gideon obliges. Cully gets the wicket. They were very faithful in his bowling abilities. Gets a wicket of the first delivery.
He was rewarded for that previous over where he lost a few runs from there.
That is very true. Having a look here at some of the stats. Devon there with a batting average of 53 with 23 50s and a high score of 82. And then of course Gideon, the man who just caught the ball now. Dev is just standing here in the middle. Unfortunately the camera's completely focused on him and he hears us and he says, don't worry guys, I'll move out the way. I'm fast enough, I can come around to any angle. As he runs around, they're challenging him there. Throws it all the way to the keeper.
I assume he's getting his stats from there next to the field.
Oof, I tried to come down in this direction. At least we're seeing some lovely shots now here towards the end of the CPI innings. I mean, we're not really towards the end, we're still right in the middle.
Yeah, 6 points something overs.
Oh, always like to ask myself, was that intentional? But it was played with such soft hands, you can't argue with that. As we're saying, that Gideon playing 138 games, also taking the catch of Cully. Cully tosses it up again. He's just not tall enough to get to that. Just out of reach. Cully playing his 20th match. Just having a look there.
He's yet to score a 50.
Yeah, a few guys haven't scored a 50 here. But of course, basically these guys are into bowl and not necessarily be batting. So
Then you get to Devon, which stands out. Yeah, he's got 23 50s which he scored.
and then the next person to challenge him is Marco van Jaarsveld on 19 50s from 46 games. And we've got Kali here replacing Dev. And there's Kali in camera view there. He is trying, they all try to get out of the camera's way, and we're just trying to see if they're camera shy or not.
Now you guys can also see a clear view of what Kali looks like.
Just some chatter here from the side of the field. Says that we must let you guys know back home that he benches more than 120. Looks like Kali is quite popular today. Everybody's shouting everything of Kali's there. Instagram handle Kali number 9 if you're interested. Becker! Asking some good questions there.
Oh, thanks. Mooi gevangen. Yeah, some more cooling.
Ah, thank you so much. Up in the air, but safe. Just 2 runs of that. So Jurg, you were in the box that we were discussing last week. If you remember when I went to go see you before we started our day.
Yes.
Would you like to be in that box every weekend?
Definitely.
Nice and comfortable.
And I see actually this looks like there's a PowerPoint over there as well.
Exactly. Yes, yes.
So I'm not exactly sure if that works because it didn't plug in anything over there. Not knowing if I was allowed to. But in the future that would work out perfectly together.
And Kali gets a wicket. Clean bowls. Jason, well bowled there, Kali.
Looks like it's a man of the moment now. Kali is on everybody's lips and he's performing now, taking wickets.
That's correct. Everybody having a good laugh. But you do need to say well bowled because you still need to put it there.
Yes.
In order to get the wickets. That's as obvious as that.